One of God. If we're to understand today's readings, we must connect the first reading from Joshua with the Gospel. And two particular questions which really are intrinsically related to one another. We must first ask ourselves, whom shall I serve? When we recognize the service is connected with God. This is why parents serve their children. This is why when the parents become old, the children should serve their parents. It's really important for us to realize when we love, we shall serve. When we love our work, of course, we serve others. We don't work a day of our life. It is important for us to also ask ourselves the question, do we believe? And is it enough to believe that Jesus is the Holy One of God? Or must we also serve? It is obvious to those of us who have faith the correct answer. It is not enough for us to believe. We must also serve. We live in very difficult times. I'm aware of it because I see facial expressions in the eyes of those who come to church. And when I see eyes and I see my people, I don't look at you with the eyes of a regular man. I look at you with the eyes of Jesus. And I see and I observe with my eyes and the heart of Jesus. Because Jesus in the Eucharist gives me his own eyes. He gives me his own heart. He enables me to see the burdens that you bear. And some of you, there are enormous burdens. These are tough times we live in. I'd like to use the words of St. Padre Pio. Pray, hope, and don't worry. This is very important for us. Pray, hope, and don't worry. By the way, to worry is very expensive. We can't afford it. It will cost you much to worry. As one of my professors would say in seminary, when I was worried about getting my papers done on time. And sometimes we got papers in all our classes around the same time. He used to palm my head like a basketball and say, don't lose hair follicles over this. Too late, Father. Too late. It is important for us to pray, hope, and not to worry. It'll work out as long as the Eucharist is everything to you. This is the question. Is the Holy Eucharist everything to you? Or is it one thing among many things? If the Holy Eucharist is just one thing among many things, you're going to have a lot of worries. You're going to have a lot of burdens. Some of them will be built by your own hands. Heaven forbid we must bear burdens built by our own hands. We like to make God a scapegoat sometimes when things don't go the way we like them. And we must be honest. A lot of burdens that we bear are built by our own hands. It is powerful when we ask ourselves the question, whom shall we serve? And I like the answer, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. I hope that was obvious before we place the penitential rite this morning. I use the sprinkling rite with the exorcism of the water and the salt to make it clear to all of you, as for me and my household, Christ King Church, we will serve the Lord. What does this mean? Well, it's in reference to the first commandment, which abolishes and forbids all superstitious practices. No rabbit's foot, no crystals around your necks, no palm readers, no horoscopes, no dabbling in the occult, watching programs about people chasing ghosts. I don't recommend it. Don't recommend it. My brother has a police officer who's on his department. I would not name the department. A&E just sponsored him and a group of other police officers who are going into homes and hunting for ghosts. They're not qualified to do this, by the way. Man's weapons won't protect them. Only God's weapons. Prayer. And what kind of prayer? The most powerful prayer. The Mass. The holy sacrifice of the Mass, which we are a part of. Of course, the priest offers as the principle, celebrate in the name and the person and authority of Jesus himself, as head of the church. When you see the priest climb the steps, I want you to say one thing in your mind. There goes Jesus. He's climbing the hill to Calvary. Oh, Mary, strengthen him. This is my prayer when I climb the stairs. I'm going to Calvary. I'm going to assume the sins of the world on my back. And by his wounds they all shall be healed. those who receive Jesus, who believe it's Jesus in the Eucharist, and who make it their aim in life to serve Him and His cause, to set captives free, you will be the most blessed among us. I hope that includes all of us. Is the Eucharist everything in your life? If it is, you have it. You're the most blessed among us. Pray, hope, and don't worry. We must choose today who we will serve, the culture of death or Christ and the church, which is the lighthouse for those who dwell in darkness and shadows of death. Christ desires, as you'll see on our magnets, which are on some of your cards, to be Lord of your life and King and center of your heart. What does this mean? You need to desire what He desires. What does He desire? That none may perish, but all come and experience the gift of eternal life. I saw one of the most horrific things this past week you can imagine. As I was coming from a funeral of all places, and I was driving down Ridge Road. We all know the road. It's got some waves in it, double yellow lines, which means no passing zone. For those who obey God's and man's laws, double yellow, no passing zone. And as I went along Ridge Road, heading north, I saw two teenage girls standing by the side of the road. And I'll tell you my first impression when I looked at them with the eyes of Jesus: depressed. They hate themselves. They want to die. This thought came to my mind. I don't believe it was from me. I think it was from the Lord.